Hey guys, Jack Spirko here with a quick tabletop review for deal of the day, and I think one of the most universally hated critters on the planet is the mosquito. And this was one of those things that a friend told me about. I was like, no, it can't work that good. But we were up in Tennessee at a friend's place named Nicole. She was doing a workshop for a thing called Living Free in Tennessee, and there was a whole bunch of us sitting out on the porch enjoying some really good rum in the evening, and there were mosquitoes there. I swear it could have carried away a child. They were that vicious. And he broke this thing out, turned it on, and set it on the table just like that in the middle of us, and I don't think another person got bit within about 5 minutes after that for the rest of the night. So it made me a believer in it, and the mosquitoes are bad this year, and that same gentleman, David, was kind enough to gift this to me, and I've been using it ever since, and I am a complete believer in the effectiveness of this. The way it works, and I might be saying the name wrong, they use a synthetic derivative of chrysanthemum extract, which is widely used in organic pest control, called allicin or something like that. But it's basically a synthetic version of chrysanthemum extract, and that's what these little pads here are saturated in. And they slide in right here in this little slot, and it's so easy, anybody can do it, even me. You take a new pad, you shove it in there, it shoves the old one out, that's all there is to it, and they run on butane. And they have a little butane cartridge that sits down here in the bottom. If you can turn a screw, you can turn one of these things. It's that easy. They have a little seal, and you can see this one's got a little, you probably can't see, there's a little bit left in this one, so we'll use it till it's gone. That just screws up in there. Well, I say anybody can do it, even me, but maybe I need a little bit more coordination. Bottom slides on it, and there you go, that's the whole thing. To light it, you turn it to the start area, which lines up with the button, and you hit the button maybe a couple times to be sure, and there's a little window in there that you can look in, and you can see a little glowing flame. There's probably no way that's going to show up in there, but that little window right there, you see that flame. And just like a lot of other things, then you turn it to the on position, and there's a little burner back there, and it does produce some heat, but it's not a tremendous amount of heat. In fact, you know, this grill is plastic, so if it was a lot of heat, you would have this melt. And then you just set it, and it creates a 15-foot diameter area where mosquitoes, sandflies, midges, etc., black flies leave you alone. How good does it work on sandflies and sandfleas? I don't know, but I'm going to find out. We're fixing to go to Florida with it. I'm going to tell you an important thing about if you have plans to do that with it here in just a second. And the sandflies there, or sandfleas, whatever you want to call them, they tear my wife up when we sit around the pool and all. Down by the beach, they really don't bother us, so we'll give it a good tester. But mosquitoes, guys, this thing is not hokum. It works. We have bad mosquitoes this year. It's rained a lot, and even though I keep BT dunks and fish in all my tanks, there's just mosquitoes everywhere. We've been completely miserable. The guy that gave me this, he came over a couple weeks ago. We sat out here on the porch for about 3 hours and had one of these set up. Not a single person got bit. I just spent about 2.5 hours working in my aviary. It's backed by the brush line and all. It is always full of mosquitoes. I didn't get a single bite. I've got another thing that's actually knocked the mosquito population down on the property called Spartan. I'm not ready to do a full review on that yet, but I will include a link to it in the review of this one, the write-up that you'll be able to find in the video notes, either below or above, depending on where you're looking at this video. You can check out the full write-up on it. You can see all the pricing and everything, but these sell for about 25 bucks. As far as the refills, this is like the biggest refill pack they make. It's 120 hours, which would be 4 hours a day for a week, and it's about 43 bucks and change or something like that. That might sound expensive, but man, not getting bit, that is, I'm tired of being bit, guys, and I don't think most people would use it 4 hours a day every day. This is more for, you know, when you're sitting out. I'll tell you another group that uses this a lot, hunters. And I know what you're thinking, scent. The scent of this doesn't really bother deer. They don't really care about it. It's not something they notice. But if you look here on the box, they're pretty good at their marketing. They have an earth scent that actually, while you're using this, acts as a cover scent for your stinky ass, which is what deer actually smell and scares them away. You can see that Thermacell has a variety of different product, and they all use the exact same insert. So if you have like one for hunting and you wanted a pretty one for your patio or something, you don't have to buy different inserts. Each device will keep them, again, in that 15-foot kind of diameter. So if you have like a big pool deck or something, you might want one, you know, a third of the way on each side of it or what have you. but they absolutely positively work. I think I said it already, but just to be sure, the device itself is about 25 bucks. It has 3 little stand-ups on the back that can be used to use things like paracord or what have you, or anything you want to attach it to things. I just threw a tie wrap in it and a double dog clip on it, and that way, like when I'm out in the aviary, I can hang it like that. I usually just carry it around with me if I'm working, but if I need to, I'll just go ahead and hook that on a belt loop and make sure that this side is pointing out. It does absolutely, you can tell by the way it's designed, pull air circulation from the back side. So you can hang it off a pack while you're backpacking or anything like that. You can hang it up on the outside of a tent. I don't think there's there's no super warning about, using it inside or something. It's a very small amount of combustion that's going on. But I wouldn't want to completely block that back airflow. And I certainly wouldn't want to completely block this because, well, then it won't work on top of everything else. So don't be an idiot and stick it in your pocket or something like that when it's on. Other than that, I think they're about as safe as anything can be. I shouldn't have to say this, but yeah, it's an open flame. So if you was working on a gas line or something, you shouldn't have this on. Of course, if I have to tell you that, you're probably not qualified to work on a gas line, own one of these things, or breathe frickin' oxygen. So I really don't think there's much danger in it. As far as that chemical, again, it is a synthetic, but it is basically the same chemical that comes from chrysanthemum extract. I don't see it as being any sort of a risk. These things have been around a long time, and everybody I know that uses them loves them. I'm a believer. You can certainly get them on Amazon, which you'll find the links in my review. You can get the refills and all the other ones too, but I'm going to focus on this one today because this is the one I've used. Now, let's talk about one really important consideration. This is butane. And so this does not go on an airplane. It doesn't just not go on an airplane in your carry-on. It doesn't go in your checked baggage. They won't let you take this on an airplane. We're going to Florida. I want to use it. This can go in your baggage as long as there's not a cartridge in it, and the little blue thingies can go in there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take and mail myself a few things that I want out there anyway, and put care of Guest Jack Spirko, please hold for guest arrival date on the address, and just mail myself probably 2 of these, because that'll give me 24 hours of burn time. Each one of these gives you 12 hours. Each pad gives you 4. That gives you 3 pads per cartridge. If you just want, let's say 6 hours of prevention, the smallest pack sells for $6, so that's $1 an hour. Again, it's 120 hours for $40, so it's 33 cents an hour. 33 cents an hour to not get your ass bit with mosquitoes. I'm all about that. The thing is, the way they've designed these, they've made sure you're not going to run out of butane. So my experience has been when you've used the amount of these little blue doggies that keep the mosquitoes away, that this is for, there's always a little bit of this left. Well, that's a great little fire starter now, isn't it? For your camping and stuff like that. So there you go. I mean, check them out. Definitely consider getting one. If you got kids and they're always swatting around when you're out on the porch or at the pool, these things will work. You might consider one of the pretty ones. Like I said, they have these, ones that look like little lights and stuff like that. But my view is they all work off the same stuff, and they all work for the same distance. And so one of these can go anywhere. And so that's why I think this is probably the best deal. Now, couple things. You do not have to keep track of the time. When this little blue thing, and they start out bluer this, when there's no blue left and it goes all white, it's used up. Now, this one's not all used up, and this is what I think is the best feature. That's off. It will stop dispersing, and this will not wear out. I can use this for 10 minutes while I'm out doing something and shut it off, and I've only used 10 minutes of the time. And that's what I think makes the bang for the buck on these things really good. Like everybody else, I hate mosquitoes and I hate being bit by them. The Spartan traps, like I said, I'm still evaluating them before I'm willing to fully endorse them. This has my 100% endorsement. Highly recommend it. If you're tired of being bit by mosquitoes, please consider getting yourself one.